The sun is the heart of our solar system. It's a giant ball of hot, glowing gas, mostly made of hydrogen and helium. Its light and warmth make life on Earth possible. Without the sun, there would be no plants, no animals, and no people. The sun is so huge that it could fit about 1.3 million Earths inside of it. Even though the sun looks like it's far away, it's actually just about 93 million miles from Earth. Its surface temperature is around 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. But inside, at its core, it gets much hotter, around 27 million degrees Fahrenheit. The sun's energy comes from a process called nuclear fusion, where hydrogen atoms join together to form helium and release a huge amount of energy. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun and is also the smallest in our solar system. Even though it's near the sun, Mercury doesn't get hot all the time. It has extreme temperatures because it doesn't have an atmosphere to trap heat. On the sunny side, it can reach over 800 degrees Fahrenheit, but on the dark side, it can drop to nearly minus 330 degrees Fahrenheit. Because it has no atmosphere, you can see the surface of Mercury clearly, filled with craters, much like our moon. It has a day that lasts about 59 Earth days, but its year is only 88 Earth days long, so it zooms around the sun very quickly. Venus is often called Earth's twin because it's similar in size and structure, but it couldn't be more different. It has a thick atmosphere made mostly of carbon dioxide, which traps heat, making Venus the hottest planet in our solar system, with temperatures that soar to about 900 degrees Fahrenheit. This runaway greenhouse effect makes Venus an extremely harsh place to visit, with clouds of sulfuric acid and winds that can blow over 200 miles per hour. Venus spins slowly and in the opposite direction to most other planets, so the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. It takes Venus longer to spin once on its axis than it does to orbit the sun. Earth is the only planet known to support life, and it's the perfect place for us to live. Its atmosphere, made of oxygen and nitrogen, keeps the planet breathable. Earth's surface is covered in water, oceans, rivers, lakes, and land, providing a variety of habitats for animals, plants, and humans. Earth's rotation gives us day and night, and its orbit around the sun brings us the seasons. It's just the right distance from the sun, about 93 million miles, so it's not too hot or too cold. Earth's moon also orbits it, creating tides and adding to the beauty of the night sky. The moon is Earth's only natural satellite and is about 1/4 the size of Earth. It has no atmosphere, which means there's no air to breathe or weather. Instead, the moon's surface is covered in dust and rocky plains, with craters from impacts by meteoroids over billions of years. The moon's gravity affects Earth by causing the oceans to rise and fall, creating tides. You can also see the moon go through different phases as it orbits Earth. It takes about 27 days to make a full orbit. The moon doesn't have its own light, it simply reflects the sun's light, which is why we see it shining in the night sky. Mars, the red planet, is one of the most fascinating planets in our solar system. It's covered with iron oxide or rust, which gives it its reddish appearance. Mars has the tallest volcano in the solar system, Olympus Mons, which is about 3 times the height of Mount Everest. Mars is cold and dry with temperatures that can drop to minus 195 degrees Fahrenheit in the winter. Scientists think that in the past, Mars might have had liquid water on its surface. Today, there are signs of ancient riverbeds and dried-up lakes, which make scientists believe that life could have once existed there. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system, and it's a gas giant made mostly of hydrogen and helium. Jupiter is so big that about 1,300 Earths could fit inside of it. Its most famous feature is the Great Red Spot, a giant storm that has been raging for at least 400 years. Jupiter has over 80 moons, and 4 of them, Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto, are some of the largest in the solar system. The planet spins very fast, completing a full rotation in just about 10 hours. Jupiter also has a very strong magnetic field and a system of rings, though they're faint and hard to see. Saturn is famous for its beautiful rings, which are made of ice and rock. It's a gas giant like Jupiter and is the second largest planet in our solar system. Saturn's rings are its most iconic feature, stretching out over 175,000 miles, though they are only about 30 feet thick. Saturn has at least 82 moons, and the largest, Titan, is bigger than the planet Mercury. Saturn's atmosphere is mostly made of hydrogen and helium, and it has winds that can reach speeds of over 1,000 miles per hour. Despite its enormous size, Saturn is so light that it could float in water if there was a body of water big enough to hold it. Uranus is often called the sideways planet because it rotates on its side compared to the other planets. This unique tilt makes Uranus appear to spin like a rolling ball rather than a top. It's an ice giant made mostly of water, ammonia, and methane ice. Uranus is a pale blue color because of the methane in its atmosphere, which absorbs red light and reflects blue. It has a very cold environment with temperatures dropping to around -370 degrees Fahrenheit. Uranus also has faint rings and 27 known moons. It takes about 17.2 Earth years to complete one orbit around the Sun. Neptune is the farthest planet from the Sun and is another ice giant like Uranus. It's a beautiful deep blue color because of the methane in its atmosphere, and it has the strongest winds of any planet, reaching speeds up to 1,200 miles per hour. Neptune has a mysterious dark spot, similar to Jupiter's Great Red Spot, which is a huge storm system. Neptune has 14 known moons, with Triton being the largest. Triton is special because it orbits Neptune in the opposite direction of the planet's spin, which suggests it may have been captured by Neptune's gravity. Neptune takes about 165 Earth years to complete one orbit around the Sun. Pluto used to be considered the 9th planet in our solar system, but it was reclassified as a dwarf planet in 2006 because it didn't meet all the criteria of a full planet. However, Pluto is still fascinating. It's tiny compared to the other planets, about 1/6 the size of Earth's moon, and it has a very eccentric orbit. Pluto's surface is icy and rocky, and it has 5 known moons, with Charon being the largest. Pluto is very far from the Sun, so it's incredibly cold, with temperatures around -375 degrees Fahrenheit. Even though it's far away, Pluto has been the subject of much interest, especially after NASA's New Horizons spacecraft visited it in 2015. The asteroid belt is a region in space located between Mars and Jupiter, where millions of rocky objects called asteroids orbit the Sun. These asteroids vary in size, from small pebbles to large bodies several hundred miles wide. Scientists think that the asteroid belt is made up of leftover material from the early solar system that never formed into a planet due to Jupiter's strong gravity. Some of the most famous asteroids in the belt are Ceres, Vesta, and Pallas. Ceres is especially interesting because it's also classified as a dwarf planet, and it might even have water beneath its surface.